It is July 1942, and the German armed forces from western Ukraine took advantage of the dry roads and dry ground after the spring thaws and decided to launch their offensive towards Orel-Kursk. From western Ukraine, they left their fortifications behind them and moved into eastern Ukraine, defeating our army there, but taking some losses as well. And then they moved on to Orel-Kursk, where they are soundly trounced by the army present there, and the T-34 tanks and the units present in Orel-Kursk managed to defeat all their blitz-capable units and push them back and force the remainder to retreat into eastern Ukraine. Now the forces in eastern Ukraine are surrounded on almost all sides. They are faced with a deadly force, and therefore they will be wiped out to the last man. Now in the Soviet Far East, we see that the Japanese are making some movements. Now, of course, they have hold on to Chita. They failed to capture Amur, but they recaptured northern Manchuria. But they are looking a little sparse on the ground. Likewise with our forces, with only infantry class units present. The CCP have managed to hold on to Qinghai, have lost it, and are now looking at making advances and recovering more territory from the Japanese forces. Lastly, we take a look at the third member of the communist Comintern global nations, and we see that Republican Spain is doing well enough. But the nationalist forces are gaining strength, and now they might have sufficient strength to start looking at biting off portions of the Spanish territory here. And so the Republicans might need to make some maneuvers at this point. And that is it for an update. Welcome all to Global War 1936 version 4. We're playing Operation Varsity with my companions and competitors, 5-star general as well as the veteran. This is proving to be a quite interesting game, especially with as far as I can see, the Germans have lost a lot of their steam pushing into Russian territory, and now I believe this turn we'll be able to knock them back and recapture all of Ukraine, and maybe even capture some territory back from Poland, and likewise put pressure against the Germans. Now they do have a sufficient force here in the 84th Army in eastern Poland, in the form of something like, what is that, 20 infantry, 2 anti-aircraft guns, artillery, and 2 fighters. They're looking quite strong on the ground over here. And so any movements that we make will be slow, but nonetheless slow, and with the mighty force of our infantry units, we are slowly taking ground back. Let's take a look at our tech charts first. It's worthwhile adjusting that for tech. So we are working on a new couple techs now. We have 4 tech dice. We're going with jet fighters, strategic rockets, advanced mechanized, and long-range aircraft. We're going to leave advanced artillery sit for now. So we're going to roll these dice and see what the results are. A 9, a 6, an 8, and a 6. So let me see here. We need to hit, long-range aircraft, we would have needed to hit an 8. We got a 6, or is that a 9? We got a 6, so that bumps us on this dice to a 2. And next turn, we hope to get it next turn. Now the 8 is up here, and we are successful in advanced mechanized, moving up 1 stage to there. And then we had a 9 tucked in here in the form of jet fighters, which is a new tech. They also move up here. And we did miss out on our strategic rockets, rolling a 6, and this has been a very tedious process, but now we gain a +1 on our subsequent round. And so that is it for our tech dice. No grand successes, no new technology unlocked. We move on to other better things. Let's look at our purchases. We have 50 IBP. We're going to get 2 mechanized units. We're going to get 2 T-34s, 1 Republican artillery, 1 CCP infantry, 5 infantry, 1 fighter. Now, by my calculations, I can send Lend-Lease units from this port here, and I can trace a line all the way down to where we need to go, which is going to be somewhere out in, let's say, Barcelona over here. And so, yeah, Barcelona. So that's what, or let's say Eastern Andalusia. We're going to send units all the way down here, and so therefore I don't think we need to face our opponent's units. Now, let's actually send them to Western Andalusia. I think that would be the best course of action. And that way we for sure bypass a lot of things. If I'm mistaken and the setup is a little bit different, then I will, if there's anything in the way, then I'll change up on this one and not send them an artillery. I'll send them, I won't send them anything. Okay, and let's take a look at the CCP first. They have no money to spend. They're just going to do 1 attack here into Shensi to try to recapture their old homeland. So we have 2 dice at 1 versus 1 dice at 2 over here. I know it's probably a foolhardy attack, but, let's give it a shot. So 2 dice at 1 versus 1 dice at 2. I think we have even odds at victory, but our losses will be more expensive. 4 and a 3, and over here we have a 7. This might prove to be quite the long fight as we're looking for quite low numbers here. There's almost a 1 there, and a 5, and over here we have an 11. Moving on to our third round. Good thing there's no retreat mechanic for these guys. Otherwise I would be in some hefty trouble with a 6 on the defender. Moving on to round 4. How many rounds do we think it's going to be? 5, 6, 7. Miss out of 6. This will be round 5. A 3 and a 4, and over here they have a 4. Now, this will be round 6. So statistically, I suspect we should see a result on somebody's dice. Now, nothing. All right, round 7. There's a 1, 2 ones, and a 4. So we succeeded twice in a row there. Managed to take out Shensi from our opponents. So we're going to recover that territory. And with no losses on our end, we managed to capture that territory. And so let's quickly bump ourselves up on the map here. You know what? I hadn't even knocked ourselves down, which is great. So now we sit at 2. Great stuff. All right, now we'll go to collecting them. So because I have a railway connection through Russia, from Russian homeland to Qinghai, we're going to give them $4 now. $2 for the bonus, 1, 2, and then we have $2 for Shensi, leaving us at $5 on the subsequent round. So that's really quite good news. Now we look at let's look at our combat moves for let's do these guys here. They're not going to do any combat moves, but you know what? I'm probably going to forget them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send 1 infantry here, and what we're going to do is that's about it. I don't intend on doing much more than that. Just moving some units here just to help defend when that artillery comes up. I think that'd be good. So that's our non-combat there. Okay, now our combat moves. So we're doing a couple. These 3 infantry are marching it down from Kiev to southern Ukraine. I'm having these pile of units coming into western Ukraine. So let me list off what's all going into there. But it's something to the tune of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 infantry units are going into that territory. And what I'm going to do, because space is somewhat at a premium, I'm going to make this as an army. Let's scale this down quite a ways. And so our 98th Army with the infantry are going to come into this army opposite. Of course, we still get to roll for them. They're not just simply marching in, but I thought that might get a little easier to move some units using this little handy-dandy thing. All right, of course, the anti-aircraft gun we'll put up there as well. And we'll organize it a little bit more thoroughly later for pictures and everything later on. Yeah, I like to try to make things a little bit pretty. Okay, lastly, we're going to make everything else that can reach is going to march into eastern Ukraine. So that means all of these units here. We're not sending the airborne over here. We might have other plans for it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could, in theory, land in western Poland without too much hardships. And there's only 2 units that can, 2 units, and I guess suppose these SS Panzer Grenadiers could go as well. But we're not going to do anything with them. I think we have sufficient forces to deal with what we have. And I believe, oh yeah, we're going to march into Lubelski and Wallachia, and that will about do all our combat moves. Yeah. So on this side of things, we're going to do some combat moves as well. I guess I misspoke there. We're going to send some units up in a major kind of push towards Chita. Say these 3 units down there, all these units down here. Now this will also be a long battle with increased odds for casualties, but that's what the plan is. I had debated sending this guy to Suyan as well, but at the end of the day, I'd be rolling 1 against his 2, and it's just a little bit too severe. So instead, we're going to try to make a bit more of an impact by going up towards Chita. And so that's it. We're going to start off with our submarine attacks. So we're going to attack that sea zone. The submarine's going to come to sea zone A12 and attack that one. And we're going to have so our seaplane rather is the one up here. Boom, attacking that. And that should about do it for our attacks, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 attacks. All right, let's start with this one in Chita. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. 5 units rolling at 1 versus 1 at 3, 4, 5 versus 1 at 4. One hit, that's all we needed, and he has a 2, so he succeeded here. That might look cocked, but at the end of the day, it says 2 in the little tooltip up front. Well, luckily we have a couple militia to absorb those hits, so we're going to take that off, and the Japanese infantry we're going to remove as well, leaving us with gaining 1 IPP worth of territory back. So let's bump ourselves up to 45 and drop them down to 49. All right, now we'll look at southern Ukraine. So we have 3 at 2 versus his 1 at 2. I'm gonna use these dice because you can see the colors a little bit easier. 3 at 2 versus 1 at 2. One hit, and this one is showing a 5. It was almost a 1, but didn't have that momentum to roll over. So there we have it. We remove these units off the board, and now we have 3 infantry class units sitting in that territory. And now we have this German militia here versus my 23 or whatever I said it was. I'm gonna just, I don't know if I need to roll it, but strange things have happened in the past. There's 3, and he rolled a 9. There's another 3. I'm looking at rolling a 2 in this battle. So by rights, it shouldn't be overly hard to get. There's a 2. We succeeded in taking them out. All right. So we've captured this territory from the Germans with our 98th Army. Now we look at this force here in eastern Ukraine, and we've set this one up on the battle board over here. So yeah, let's just roll for it. I'm gonna say the yellow dice here stands for the T-34 tanks because we could do some target selection with that. Let's throw them up. Let's throw it here and move quickly to delete these. So remember, yellow dice are for my target selection T-34 tanks. And I'm going to roll their whole handful of dice. I have a advanced mech, and these units all at 5, plus a cavalry down here as well. So let's see what the results are. Okay, so looking pretty poor on our end. I have 4 hits. None of them target selection. That's for my 2 fighters plus my 2 tanks. Everything else is so far a miss. And on their end, what do the green roll? The greens are at 4. So we have 1, 2 hits from the greens. And then this is 11, the teal dice, which should be a 2. And 6, just missed it. It's just 2 hits in total on round 1. Pretty poor stuff, I must say. Pretty poor stuff. Through no fault of the defenders, but I suspect it'd be 4 hits in the end, so I'm quite happy to see that. Let's see what my infantry class units hit. So we have 1. This one is a 5. 1, 2, 3. 3 hits. 7 to his 2. All right, so we're going to take off 7. It takes off his cavalry and 6 of his dudes here. And then we take off 2 units, which perfectly works out to just our militia. So we're quite content with that. Let's roll these since I have them here. And then we have this one. Now what do we have still? Motorized. Those 3. That stands for advanced mech at 5 and then motorized in this one. So let's see what those results are for round 2. Okay, on this we're looking at 1s and 2s. So 1, 2, 3. 3 hits is all we need. But you know what? I like the style of the Captain G, the famous Captain G in all his glory. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll for a bit of an overshot. And let's see what their results are. No hits on round 2 for these guys. Really quite poor showing for them. 1, 2, 3, 4. At least we got 4. Something like that. Anyways, we delete them off the map. And we've been successful in kicking off our opponents with only losing 2 militia. So really a gorgeous win for our armies. We'll take it any day of the week. So that's 1 militia from there, 1 militia from Kiev proper. I should state that these guys were coming in there as well. And then we're going to delete their army present here. And so that leaves us with these forces here, plus the 74th, which is all these guys here, in case I didn't make that clear. That leaves Kiev open, but there's no airborne to worry about right now, so we're happy with that. And let's take a look at our raiding ships over here. So we have our seaplane. Now this we're rolling red is for the attacker, black for the defender. He has a 2. Our dice is slowly making its way down. The seaplane is again unsuccessful. We have 1 of the submarine in the Baltic Ocean, just off the coast, and so we've maxed out that convoy line. Seeing 3 damage over here. And then we have, I should say, just 3. Yeah, okay, 3. Okay, and now for this submarine here, up outside of Denmark. Pretty poor showing so far, so nothing on that convoy line. That is all. Okay, now I believe that is it. So let's adjust the income. We've picked up Western Ukraine as well as Eastern Ukraine, so that's $2 gained by the Russian forces here. We're looking at 47, and the Germans dropped down to 53. So that looks about right. Let me just double check because we have recovered all of our homeland at this point, and we're ahead by 1, but we're down by 2. So we should be 1 less. Now I might be missing something, but I can't see where that would be. So maybe I bumped it twice, but my thinking is I should be sitting at 45. Now everybody double check that for me because I think I picked up all my territory and picked up all this $1 here. Oh, because I lost Manchuria. I didn't adjust for that. So that would explain a little bit of that. That's it. All right. Moving on to non-combat and what the situation would be here. I'll start over here. These two guys from Angara come down to central Mongolia. From Novosibirsk, we're moving 2 guys to Angara. We are what are we going to do? So these aircraft, they had hit eastern Ukraine. And I think we're going to land them. I'll get back to these in a moment. So these guys in Lubelsky, oh man, I just deleted my fighters. I had them selected. Fighters, there we go. Okay, these militia, we're going to move them generally up north. And these militia here, we're going to move. You know what? No, they're still stay there. This infantry is going to come to Kola. I'm going to leave one in Smolensk here because it's worthwhile holding. Yeah, let's leave one in southern Belarusia. I've become quite wary about leaving territory open. And these, we'll send one to Kursk as well. So 3 of them have moved up here, some of them to Kursk. Alright. Now, let's look at our navy. We have this navy sitting here. We're going to move 1, 2, 3 spaces to this sea zone. And we're also going to combine it with this torpedo destroyer to come down here. And the seaplane's going to land back in home waters. Yeah, that seems about right. Okay, now this airplane here. I think I'm going to keep it near the action over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to move him up here. That gives us a range of possibilities. Okay. Yeah. Well, I have too many 98th armies. In case you haven't noticed here. So I'm gonna, come on. Oh, you know what? I did that horribly. Ah, that's so annoying. Okay, I'll fix that later on. I was gonna move an army around, but nonetheless, let's leave it for now. I'm going to copy this tile, and this will be representative of what I have in Leningrad. Since Leningrad might get crowded, so I build a couple units there. Okay, I believe we're now into the place unit phase. Yeah, place unit phase. So we're going to send the fighters going to be built here, and because we got improved factories, we can now build a couple extra guys everywhere. So we're going to build 3 infantry here, plus our fighter. We're going to send the CCP unit, and he's going to ride and sing high. We're going to send this artillery. He's going to show up here in Western Andalusia. We have 2 more infantry to place on the board, and I think we're going to actually place them here. We have plenty of units now down south in this neck of the woods, so we're not too concerned there. And the T-34 tanks, I think we're going to actually place everything here for a potential push towards Finland. I'm giving it away, but I think that's our goal at this stage. There we have it. Now, make some moves there. Please. There we go. Good enough. All right. So now we go to the collect income phase. Oh yeah, we didn't drop off our aircraft. So they 1, 2, 3. We're just gonna park them right here. Yeah, and that gives us some versatility towards Finland as well, if needed. Excellent. Okay. All right. Let's roll for our CCP recruitment here. Oh, one. Look at that. Ah, goodness me. I have sometimes some pretty fantastic luck. I'm gonna say we want another infantry. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with another infantry. And we're going to roll for our, what's our CCP? We're gonna roll for our Spanish units. 8. Do we have 8? I don't think we have 8. I think we have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're just short by 1. Unless I missed something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, I believe it. I believe that's all they get. So they missed on that one. First time in a while. And that is it, gentlemen. I'm going to simply collect my income now. And let's see what the income tracker says. 45. I review this each and every turn like some sort of lunatic. 45, 46, 47, 48. I do not collect this one. $48 is what our next turn looks like. It's not quite where the Germans are. The last one I believe they collected 66, but you know what? I'll take 48. I'll take 48, especially considering that the Germans are pressured from the west as well. So I'm content with that. Also, we get to take off this fortification off the map too. So good stuff. And now we have an airfield for all the fun that it'll give us. So that's really quite cool. Excellent. Thank you all for watching, and check out the next person's channel who will be in the form of Japan played by the veteran. Cheers all.